welcome back to my channel. So by the title of this video, you will already know that we're going to be talking about the highly anticipated Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaborated face palette. I got this palette a little bit earlier, so I wanted to use it and review it for you guys so you can see whether you want to pick it up once it gets released or not, or if you want to just pass on it. But if you decide to pick it up, I would definitely suggest picking it up ASAP once it gets released, because I can see it selling out immediately and you're going to have to wait for it to get restocked, which is always a bummer when you really want a new makeup product. So I'm going to review this entire palette for you guys, swatch every color that's in it, as well as show you how I like to apply and how I like to use each and every color that's in this face palette. I have all the colors except for one color on my face right now, but all the colors and the glow that you see on my face right now is completely from this palette. So enough of my babbling, let's get right into the review. So of course, let's start out with the packaging. The packaging to this product is absolutely beautiful. This is what the box looks like. It's gold with like the bubbly champagne bubbles, which just goes in theme with this palette. And of course on the back you have the beautiful Jaclyn Hill, a little bit of her description for this palette, her inspiration behind it, and you get a little bit of a sneak peek of the colors that you're getting in this palette. And then of course you have the actual makeup palette, which is so beautiful, it makes me want to cry. This is what the product looks like. It's so incredibly stunning. It's white with gold and silver bubbles that's just accenting the palette. You have Becca and of course Jaclyn Hill's name in the middle. The top of the palette, or the front of it, is actually this like rubbery, not cushiony, but rubber material, which makes it feel very luxurious and very nice. And then on the back, it's just gold plated and just really beautiful and simple, but very expensive and luxurious looking. Of course, you get all the shades with their names on the back listed for you. And then you open the palette up and it's just, I mean, how stunning is this palette? Just, it's so aesthetically pleasing. I just want to look at this all day. You get a gorgeous, huge mirror. It's a beautiful mirror. It's gigantic. I love how big this is because you can literally do your entire face makeup just with this mirror. So this is great for traveling. And then you have your 5 powders, the logo down at the bottom. I think it's just beautifully packaged. It's nice and thin and compacted, great for traveling. It has a nice weight to it so it doesn't feel too flimsy and it's not going to break in your suitcase or your travel bags. I just absolutely love everything about this packaging and I think they did an amazing job. So now let's get into the colors that you're going to be getting in this palette. The first color is right here called Rose Spurts, and I am absolutely in love with this blush color. Rose Spurts is a gorgeous peachy pink color with a lot of golden shimmers to it. It reminds me a lot of NARS's Orgasm blush, but Orgasm doesn't have the glow that this blush gives you. Rose Spurts just looks really pretty just on your cheeks, but it also gives you a really nice healthy glow to it. It's as if Becca mixed this blush color with one of the Hourglass's ambient lighting powders. If you've ever used those powders by Hourglass, it just kind of blurs out your pores and just gives your skin a really healthy glow, and this blush does exactly that, but it's a bonus because it gives you a really pretty peachy pink color to your cheekbones, and I just really love this blush. Next up we have the color Amaretto, which is the middle color right here. It is a gorgeous bronzy blush color. This is a mineral blush described as a matte toasted almond color. I absolutely love colors like this when I'm wearing a really dark or intense smoky eye like I am today. I love using it more towards the back of my cheekbones. And the last blush color we have in this palette is right here called Pamplemousse. This is the only color that I'm not wearing on my cheeks just because I have a lot going on my eyes. But I absolutely love this blush and it swatches and applies so beautifully. This is another mineral blush in the palette and it's a beautiful matte warm coral pink. This is such a beautiful and unique color. I love using this color just right on the apples of my cheeks and blend it slightly towards the back of my hairline. It looks so natural and so beautiful and it gives you this really warm glow to your face, and I think this is going to be beautiful for the spring and summertime. So those were all the blush colors. Let's move on to the highlighting colors of this palette. First, of course, we have Champagne Pop, which is a huge cult favorite and everyone loves it. I don't have to really show you guys this one, but of course I will swatch it for you. Champagne Pop is a beautiful soft white gold with a lot of pinky, peachy undertones to it. I believe this is part of Becca's permanent collection. It's one of their Shimmering Skin Perfectors, and it's one of my absolutely favorite highlighting colors. And then of course we have Prosecco Pop, which is the new color that Jaclyn Hill developed. This is so absolutely gorgeous. Prosecco Pop is another Shimmering Skin Perfector from Becca. This is a beautiful medium warm gold. The texture and finish to Prosecco Pop reminds me a lot of the Mary Luminizer highlighter from the Balm. It's not a complete glittery or high shine highlighter. It's more like satiny and a little bit dewy. But I really love it, and I think that it's a beautiful color to include in this palette. So those are all the colors in this face palette. I'm going to zoom you guys in and show you how I like to apply all the colors, with exception to Pamplemousse, which is a little bit too bright for my makeup look today. But I show you guys how I apply the other two blush colors as well as the two highlighting powders. So let's zoom you guys in. So in addition to my eye makeup, the only things I have on my face right now are my foundation and concealer. I just lightly dusted over everything with a translucent powder just to have a nice and even canvas to work with. So since my eye look is pretty dramatic and very warm tone, I'm going to use the more bronzy colors in this palette as opposed to this beautiful magenta peachy color. It's a beautiful color and a beautiful blush color on its own. I've worn it already and I absolutely love it. But just because my eye look is already dramatic, I don't want to clash with the orange tones using this magenta color. So I'm going to use these two colors for today's look, and I absolutely love the combination of the two. I think they complement each other really nicely and it adds a really beautiful glow to your face. So I'm going to skip bronzer altogether for this makeup look and instead use the color right here called Amaretto. It's this beautiful toasted almond color that is really pretty as a bronzy blush, but I also love to just use it as sort of a bronzer just in the back towards my hairline. So I'm going to take that on my Luxie small contouring brush and just lightly dab it into this product, tap off the excess on the back of my hands because these powders can be pretty pigmented. And with this color, because it is more bronze than it is a typical blush color, I'm just going to put it on the back of my cheekbones to warm up my face and give it a little bit of a subtle kind of bronzy glow. So I'm just going to take this and blend it right into my hairline on the back of my cheeks. And you can go back and build up the color. So you can just see how beautiful that just lightly contoured my cheeks without adding too much definition or too much darkness to my face. Here is my face without the product and here is my face with it. I absolutely love this color for just a slight bronzy look without really muddying up your face or adding too much color to it. I can just wear this color on its own without adding any blush or highlighter to it just because it is so beautiful and natural on its own. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So I really love how natural this looks as just a light contour and bronzer. I definitely wouldn't use this color for a complete contouring color. I think it's a little bit too warm and too pink based to use as a contouring color for your cheekbones. But just as a slight bronzer and just to give your face a little bit of color back without being too overwhelming, I think this color is absolutely beautiful. So next we're going to move on to our blush. I'm going to use this color right here called Rose Spritz, and I'm going to take that on my Luxie large angle brush. Again, I'm just going to lightly tap it into the color, tap off the excess because it is quite pigmented, and with this color I'm going to put it right on my cheekbones to give myself a nice pink glow. And you can just see how pigmented these powders are. I didn't even have to go back and tap into the product again to apply it to this cheek. And I really love the subtle sheen that this blush gives you. It has like a really nice, really pretty glow to it. So here's what it looks like when you blend the two blush colors together. I absolutely love mixing Amaretto and Rose Spritz together. I think they complement each other so nicely and so beautifully. It just blends in together and it looks like just very natural and very subtle, but you still have a really pretty glow and a pretty color on your cheekbones. So of course next we have highlight, which is what I am most excited about when it comes to this palette. So of course you have Champagne Pop, which is a cult favorite and a huge seller for Becca. And now we have her new color called Prosecco Pop, which is just as beautiful and just as pigmented as Champagne Pop. So I have three ways that I like to use these two highlighting powders. The first way, of course, is you can use them individually. They look beautiful on their own. They're really gorgeous and really unique in color. The second way I like to apply this is to literally mix the two. So I'll just go back and forth into the two powders, and then I'll apply it to my cheekbones. And the third way I like to use these highlighting powders, which is probably my most favorite way to use them, is to put Champagne Pop towards the back of my cheekbones and then just tap lightly into Prosecco Pop and put that more towards my eye up here on my cheekbones and sort of on the apples of my cheeks. I think the gradient of the two colors is just absolutely gorgeous. So that's the way we're going to apply these highlighters for today's video. So I'm going to take another Luxie brush. This is their tapered highlighter brush. I love using this for highlighter. I think it's perfect just for the top of your cheekbones and to blend it out because it is a little bit fluffy. So I'm going to go in with Champagne Pop, which is one of my favorite highlighting colors. Tap off the excess because you guys know how pigmented Champagne Pop is. And I'm just going to put this right towards the back of my cheekbones, almost towards my hairline, and avoid anywhere that's past the corners of my eye over here. So just from the corner of my eyes and out towards my hairline. And I'll turn the brush around and blend out that color. Do you guys see how crazy beautiful that is? Champagne Pop literally never disappoints me. Whenever I don't know what highlight to wear or what highlight to match with my eye look, this is what I go for. You can even put this color right near your temple just for a subtle glow. And there you have it, by itself, looking gorgeous. So again, for the other side. So this is what Champagne Pop looks like, but I'm sure you guys have already seen what this looks like or have already owned the product. So next, I'm going to go in with the color Prosecco Pop, and I'm going to take this on a smaller tapered highlighting brush. This is from Target and I absolutely love it. And with this color, I like to apply it more towards the front of my cheekbones, more towards my eye, and even just a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. You know how when we take pictures for Instagram or just selfies in general, and you want to show how on fleek your highlight is, we always turn towards the side because that's where we apply our highlighter and that's where it's most prominent. But if you apply a little bit of highlighter to the apples of your cheeks, even if you're facing forward in your picture, you'll see that beautiful highlight color. Obviously, don't dust it all over as you would your blush. Just a tiny bit on the apples of your cheeks, just so that when you take your pictures and you're facing towards the camera, you still see your beautiful glowing highlight. So with this, I'm just going to put it towards the front of my cheekbones to add a really nice gradient effect right into Champagne Pop. So right underneath my eye, and blend it towards Champagne Pop. And then with just whatever is left on the brush, put it right on the apples of your cheeks. Don't bring it back any further or any lower because it doesn't look natural that way. Just smile and put it right on the apples of your cheeks. Again, turn your brush over and blend it out. So I hope you guys can see the difference when I'm facing forward to you like this. This side has the highlighter just on my cheekbones towards the back, whereas this one has a little bit of it on the apples of my cheeks. So when I'm facing you like this, you can still see my highlight and it's not lost when I'm facing towards you. And you still get that beautiful highlight on this side. So I really love that trick to just put a little bit of highlight right on the apples of my cheeks so that you can get a glow from any angle whenever you face the camera. So I'm going to even out the other side. I absolutely love the look when using the highlighting powders this way. You get a really pretty gradient glow to your cheekbones. You have that nice golden tone highlight from Prosecco Pop, blend it right into the peachy undertones of Champagne Pop, and I just absolutely love it. And lastly, I'm just going to highlight my nose, so I'm going to go in with both colors this time. So I'm going to mix Prosecco and Champagne Pop together, dust off the excess, and apply this right to the tip of my nose. I'm also just going to take whatever's on the brush and drag it right on the bridge of my nose. And then to highlight my cupid's bow, I'll take the mixture and put it right on top. So this is my finished makeup look using this face palette. I absolutely love how this look came out and I love how well these colors play together. So let's zoom you guys back out and finish up with the rest of this review. So this face palette, as well as the entire collection from Becca and Jaclyn Hill, is a Sephora exclusive, so you can only find it on Sephora's website or in Sephora stores. The entire collection will be released on Sephora's website on May 26th, and then it'll hit the stores on June 16th. If you've seen the pictures of this collection and are interested in any of the products from it, I am telling you now, you need to stalk Sephora's website when it is released on May 26th because I assure you every product will be completely sold out once it is released, especially this face palette because it is so highly anticipated and so beautiful. It's getting a lot of great reviews already and it hasn't even been released fully yet. So if you are interested in any of the products, I would really recommend just placing your order as soon as the products are released. So needless to say, I am completely in love and would definitely recommend this palette that Becca and Jaclyn Hill worked on together. It is so beautiful and so unique and such a great luxurious item. I think for $52, this palette is completely worth it. You're getting 5 different face powders in one palette. Each color is universal and flattering to every skin tone. I think that they play really nicely together, they blend really well into each other, so it makes it a great versatile palette. You can create endless amounts of looks with this palette alone because you can mix and match the blushes and the highlighters. You can mix and match the highlighters with other highlighters. I think they're just so versatile and so beautifully pigmented that this palette is worth every penny. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you found this review helpful, and if there's anything else you want me to review and try out, let me know down in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys. I played around with this palette for a little bit over a week now just to really give myself enough time to mess with it, see what the quality is like, what the pigmentation of the shadows were like before I hopped on camera and tell you guys my thoughts and opinion.